In today's video, we're going to be taking the train from Kuala Lumpur to Penang in business class. Now to be more specific, we're catching the KTM train from KL Sentral and taking the 4-hour and 10-minute journey up to Butterworth station. From here, we'll catch the 10-minute ferry ride over to Georgetown in Penang. So today's journey will cover a distance of 365 kilometers or 214 miles, which should be enough time to relax and enjoy the scenery for the trip up to Penang. But let's jump into the video where I'm just about to get picked up from my hotel to head over to KL Sentral. So today we're in Kuala Lumpur, but it is time to head off and we're going up to Penang. So we're going to be catching the train and going business class, so looking forward to it. Let's get going. So while we make our way over to KL Sentral station, let's jump online and check out the website I used to book my business class seat on the KTM train today. So once we're online, there are 4 selections to choose from, but we'll go with ticketing. From here, you can enter the origin and destination for your trip. So for me, I'll type in KL Sentral and the destination will be Butterworth, as that's as far as we can get before catching the ferry over to Georgetown, Penang. From here, we can decide on the appropriate time we would like to travel. Personally, I bought a ticket based on a schedule that had a business class seat on its own and not in a pair, as I'm traveling solo today. Now from here, we can review the cost, and I paid 150 Malaysian ringgit, which is about 48 Australian dollars and roughly 30 US dollars. And for a standard seat, you could pay much less, but if you're traveling solo like me today, it's quite likely you'll have a neighbour. So not far out from KL Sentral, we get a pretty nice view of the Merdeka 118 skyscraper, which stands 2,227 feet tall or 678.9 meters. Now this building has just been completed pretty much at the time of uploading this video in October 2023. But since we're nearing closer to the station, let's head inside and work out where we need to go.
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing. So thankfully I'm here 3 hours early, but yeah, probably should ask someone.
Now you may be wondering why I arrived here so early, and it's because I didn't want to leave my luggage at the hotel, and I thought I may be able to enter the business class lounge once I arrived to relax. But rookie move, as once I found a staff member, I found out otherwise, which I'll explain shortly. But for now, let's get something to eat.
All right, well I managed to find somewhere to eat thankfully, but I still have 2 hours to kill now. And the business class lounge doesn't open from my train ride until 3 p.m, so 55 minutes before departure. Suppose I'm back to wandering the station.
From here, I wasn't left much choice other than do laps at the station or find somewhere else to sit down and eat again. Thankfully, a McDonald's sprung up from nowhere and I could kill some time here. Alongside this, the killer massage chair was also a winner.
Oh God. Getting there. Slowly but surely, time's getting closer. Been here for a good 3 hours now and I've decided to come outside and just be amongst the elements and the weather. Nice little garden behind me, as you can see. But yeah, it should be another 30 minutes and the business class lounge should open up. It's one of those things, I guess. There's quite a few trains before me with people in business class, so otherwise I think they can only open them up for specific train trips an hour before. So if you are coming on one of these trips and I'm not sure whether it's going to Butterworth or where else, but no point really being here any more than an hour and a half before, because you can't get into the business lounge anyway. So just a tip for any future travelers coming here in business class on the KTM. But yeah, not too much longer. I'll probably go for a bit more of a walk and then we'll head inside and at least we'll have a good hour to relax before the train journey.
Finally it was time and the pearly gates of the business lounge were opened by a friendly attendant. As we enter, we can see a number of chairs with tables situated closely. Now within this lounge is also a bathroom and a small area to pick up some tea and coffee prior to the train journey. I was clearly the first one in here for some time, but eventually other passengers arrived.
Okay, so made it into the lounge now. Definitely a lot more comfortable up here. think we have about 50 minutes to go, and then we're off to Penang.
Now, although basic, it's a much nicer spot to relax before the train ride, and considering the cheap price of the ticket, there's no complaints here. So once our train was ready for boarding, the attendant called out to those of us travelling to Butterworth, and we piled on into the lift and went down to the platform to board the train.
Okay, finally on board, and now for the 4-hour plus journey down to Penang. I should say up to Penang, or at least Butterworth station. But overall it's quite nice, relatively comfortable, and looking forward to the trip.
From first impressions, the cabin is quite clean and spacious, and as mentioned, there is a solo seat side opposite the paired seating within this business class cabin today, so it's nice having my own space. The seats are quite wide with a decent recline, and as you can see, there is ample leg room. Now from my left armrest, we can pull out the entertainment screen, which will come in handy over this 4-hour plus journey, which means I'll be able to check out some YouTube videos. Within the right armrest is my tray table, and another positive is also having a power outlet next to me, which includes 2 USB ports. But let's get this journey on the way and make tracks up to Penang. Now on this journey today, we have 10 stops prior to arriving in Butterworth, and since we have left right on time, we should be expecting an arrival into Butterworth station just before 8 past. Once we arrived at our first stop being Kuala Lumpur, train crew jumped on board with trolleys and provided us with these snack boxes, and an option for tea or coffee. They were also handing out small cakes if you're a sweet tooth, but I'll pass on that for today. Now within these snack boxes were peanuts, a juice, and headphones for our entertainment units, which I was all pretty surprised with since the cheap cost of the trip.
Okay guys, we're coming up on about 2 hours into the journey now, I'd say. So almost halfway. And if I look like I've just woken up, it's because I have. I fell asleep just before, which is a good thing. I mean, the seats recline quite a fair way and relatively comfortable as well, so that's all good. Just having a look outside now. What I like about it, you see all the clouds around the mountains, it's beautiful. But it is a very overcast day today. Yeah, overall I'm very happy with how the trip's going so far. I mean, I haven't really been on too many premium sort of or business class train journeys aside from when I was in China. But if I was going to make a comparison compared to that, this is obviously better in terms of what you get. I mean, you get headphones, juice, tea or coffee. You can have a cake if you want a cake, if you're a sweet tooth. And you get your peanuts and whatnot. Plus you get a touchpad sort of thing that folds out from the chair, which is quite good. I've just been watching YouTube before as well. A bit of a documentary on Egypt. But yeah, going pretty well.
Now 9 months prior to today's journey, I actually flew from Kuala Lumpur to Penang with Malaysia Airlines, so I thought I'd make some comparisons for those of you deciding between the two forms of transport. Now the flight is obviously super quick and it wouldn't have been any more than 40 minutes in the air, but once you take into account getting to the airport, which is quite distant in KL, security, boarding etc, let's just say roughly 3 to 3.5 hours from the time you leave your hotel before you arrive in Penang. Whereas the train is obviously much longer in time, plus you need to catch the ferry over to Georgetown. In terms of costs, as we know, I paid 150 Malaysian ringgit for this journey in business class, and standard seats can be half this cost. But to be honest, you can get similar and sometimes cheaper flights between KL and Penang. So overall, it's going to depend on if you'd like to see the countryside of Malaysia from the ground, then obviously you take the train, or you just want to get on with the day and get up to Penang, then I'd recommend you fly. So once we made it into Ipoh station, more trolleys were wheeled onto the train, which contained our final meals for the trip. Now at first I wasn't sure what this meal was, but after translating, it turns out to be white rice, chicken, cabbage and garlic. But unfortunately this is very dry and not to my liking, but I will say this hasn't ruined my day at all, as I wasn't even expecting meals in the first place. Just the added comfort and extra space is good enough for me.
Forgot to press record then. But yeah, we have 1 hour left of the journey, and it has been nice, you know, traveling by rail, getting that perspective from the land. But I've certainly enjoyed it, and I found the service to be pretty good. Seats are very comfortable, and for 148 Malaysian ringgit, roughly about 48 Australian dollars, it's pretty good price, to be honest, for what you get. So at this stage I definitely would recommend it. But anyways guys, I'll catch up with you when we're in Penang. Okay guys, well, I've made it to my accommodation here in Penang. So after getting off the train, it was roughly about a 10-minute walk to the ferry terminal, where I paid 1.2 Malaysian ringgit, so super cheap, to hop on the 8:30 PM ferry. So pretty well only had to wait 10 minutes on the ferry, and it was super quick. It was only about 10 minutes from Butterworth over to Penang terminal. And yeah, I caught a grab, got myself here to the hotel, and where I'll be staying for the next 3 nights. So looking forward to spending my time here in Penang. I really loved it last time I came here in October last year. But anyways guys, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. I've enjoyed making this one, and I've enjoyed the journey coming up here to Penang. And if you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoy this kind of content, and also give me a thumbs up and a like if you can, as it helps the video out quite a lot. So until the next video guys, all the best, and the next video I suppose will be out exploring Penang. But I hope you've enjoyed this one, and all the best. See ya.